has accused, the Senate or the country, quite frankly, of improper conduct, saying that the budget that was approved is different from that which is being used. This is a move. He was speaking on the BBC House of Service, and this is a move that Senate Leader Opeyemi Bamidele has referred to as about the equivalent of a civilian coup, and that all these agitations towards the next dispensation and changing the leadership of the Senate needs to stop. So we're happy to have with us Right Honorable Eyiboh, who has been laying out the facts, and as he just finished before we went on break, he who asserts must prove. You don't even need to be a lawyer to know that. And Ada in Jos has joined the conversation. Good morning to you, ma'am.
It's Ada calling from Jos, Plateau State. Mary, I don't know, let's see if people don't enough preamble on the issue of the party. My worry is that it's not the first time we have allegations of padding of our budget or whatever. It has been there. It's a recurring decimal. So, but my worry here is I want to use this your medium to appeal to members of the National Assembly to put a stop to this having as regional senators. So every time they're always promoting this north-south dichotomy. I begin to wonder if they ever ponder over our national anthem and the pledge. I begin to wonder. Then we have this slogan, One Nigeria. How will be One Nigeria if we continue this way? That is what is even bothering me, the whole thing. If it's started or not, they can set up a committee and probe it. Not necessarily, suspending somebody just like that with fiat. Where did they even get that power? Where did they get the power to do that in the first instance? So I don't know. Let's just be careful. I don't know. What each time we keep on saying we want to have one Nigeria, but we never want to keep to things that will make us become one Nigeria. Every day is north and south, north and south, north and this one, south and this one. That one. Immediately this other one happens. Southerners have been playing that or playing down. Immediately this one happens. The Southerners, senators now does their own. What does that tell you? We have a big problem in this country. We are a nation, many nations in a nation. That is it, whether we like it or not. Let's restructure this country so we can have our peace. All this, let's talk about Nigeria.
Thank you very much, Ada, calling in there. She's made her point, and quite frankly, you can't fault it very much. Much as we might be working towards the ideal that she's citing out of the national anthem, it still is what it is. And you alluded to that fact when you said that, well, this is politics, sectional politics coming up again. It's not a desirable thing, and it doesn't seem easy to overcome it, Honorable.
Well, you were very faint at the tail end of what you were saying.
Well, I was saying that what Ada was highlighting there, that here we come with sectional politics again, very rarely thinking in national terms, and then so much verve and gusto is given to these sectional sentiments. It's not a desirable thing, and but I was saying that it is what it is. You had alerted, you had sort of cited it yourself earlier that this is what is at the bottom of all of this, and Ada was voicing her frustration that she's sick and tired of it. That when will we begin to think nationally as one nation, not one set of people, going to all sorts of machinations to undo, trip up, remove the other person simply because it's not from their section of the country?
Well, I can tell you that a couple of these things are a mere display of elite conspiracy to undermine the diversity, the strength of our diversities. Now, look at when Nigeria was playing the last African Cup of Nations in Cote d'Ivoire. How many Nigerians, how many of us, there was no comment of how many Igbo players, how many Hausa players, or how many Akwa Ibom players. There was a Nigerian Super Eagles. That's the strength in our diversity. The Senate president went there out of his own volition. He went and joined those people. The vice president went there and all of that. The massive solidarity that came up from that competition was to show a Nigeria that if we all abide by our constitution, our rights or our compatriots, this country will be great again. But when we begin to talk about North-South, that dichotomy and the sentiment will definitely stir up the divisiveness in our strength. So, when the elite, a lawmaker who admitted to an oath of the Federal Republic of Nigeria that he shall not do any ill will, that he shall not use his office to promote those tendencies he's promoting now. In fact, if there was a provision on the Constitution, I would propose that there should be an amendment to the Constitution that anybody who promotes divisiveness to the extent of talking about North-South should be dismembered as a Nigerian citizen. Because those are the people who are polluting the potentials. Those are the people who are undermining the determination of most of our leaders to raise this country up again. We need to look for a way we can intervene on the issue of massive insecurity in this northeast, northwest, north central. We need to see how much we will be able to kickstart the economy in the southeast so that unknown gunmen will later become active entrepreneurs. We need to see a possibility where the man in the south is made to know that regardless of the effect of exploitation and exploration in oil, that they have a stake in this country. That is the kind of Nigeria with. And the renewed hope agenda by its prospectus and objective is intended to jumpstart and activate, that aspect of our life. That will make Nigeria a community of all.
Excellent. Let me bring on Hussein, who has called in from Jos. Good morning to you, sir.
Yes, Uncle Yori, good morning.
Thank you for calling in.
Hello, good morning, Uncle Yori.
Good morning, sir. Thank you for calling in. Go ahead, please.
Can you? Yes, please. You see,
yeah,
Uncle
good morning.
Yori,
good morning. Mm.
This is Nigeria. This is Nigeria we are talking about. Nigeria does not belong to one section of Nigeria. Before amalgamation, I believe Nigeria will agree to be one country. That is why amalgamation takes place. But the truth is that, you see, this politics of dominance by one section of the country is becoming something very, very terrible. I think these people this section of the economy, of the country, they have to really sit down and have a routine. Human beings are growing. Our sins are increasing. This kind of divisive politics is not longer paying again. Rather than it's causing a lot of damage to the country. They should have a routine. They have ruled this country more than any other person. I'm sorry to say this on the national television. They are the ones that have bring this country backward. Let Nigeria unite. They should bring something purposeful, something reasonable so that we can move forward. We can no longer continue like this. Enough is enough. If there is problem, let the leadership sit down and resolve it. Not even as if we are coward, calling ourselves leaders. It's not good. That's my take.
All right, then. Well, thank you very much for contact.
Thank you. Thank you.
Every right-thinking member of society, quite frankly, has been contributing to this whole idea that, look, can we just get national for once? It's interesting. It might seem like a small idea, but you did make the notion of how all Nigeria comes together when a national team, is in competition. When a national person becomes a winner in an event, a sporting or athletics event, everybody claims it. So what is different? Yeah, I know we keep on making these examples, but at our very core, that's the part, and that is why Opeyemi Bamidele, distinguished senator, was saying that this is effectively a coup, and it's trying to limit, the tenure of the Senate president. According to him, that was the way he saw it. And we need to move beyond that, because those allegations simply cannot stand, as has been copiously explained. Mr. George called in. Everybody saw on television the distinguished senator who was explaining it, laboriously explaining how none of this can really stand. Meanwhile, I believe that the senator, the distinguished Senator Ningi, for all of that, said he's standing his grounds, or those in one place, then other places he will say he never said something. So it's become a dog's dinner, quite frankly, in terms of what exactly was the intention of Senator Ningi.
Yeah. Uncle Yuri, I think I can, Uncle Yuri, yes, I think I can, I really appreciate the contributions of the persons who have phoned in, and also appreciate the fact that you are able to take this thing on milestones so that your viewers will be able to not only understand it, but also buy into this issue of national consciousness, because this is the drive. But let me also say this to you too. This incident that took place in the Senate a couple of days ago has brought to fore the issue of leadership recruitment process in this country. We need, those of us who believe in Nigeria and who believe in the sustainability of this country, devoid of any partisan cleavages, should be able to appreciate that we must change the pattern, culture, and the thinking in our leadership recruitment culture. Now, I can tell you, and clearly too, that at some point, even the media, who are the unelected representative of the people, are not also doing well. I want to be honest about it. Where a television station take a piece of paper with the analysis, budget analysis, figures, and all of that, and put it on the screen. Without, if he's a development journalist, without, comparatively to, since it's one budget, if you are saying that this belongs to Ikorogbene Senatorial District, you should be able to run the budget of all the constituencies in this country so that we know which one is skewed and which one is not skewed. For instance, if you are talking about, if you want to take the presiding officers, for example, when you run that this is what is happening in Akpabio's senatorial district, this is what is happening in the Deputy Senate President's senatorial district, this is what is happening in the Speaker's, Speaker of the House of Reps, the Speaker's senatorial, constituency, this is what is happening in Deputy Speaker. If you want to take the presiding officers, for example, you take the four of them, and then you analyze and state this thing, so that let's be able to see how transparent, how ingenious you are in trying to interrogate the budget. But now, Akpabio is not the only presiding officer of the National Assembly, even though he never participated in the crossing of the T's and the dotting of that. None of the presiding officers did anyway. But what I'm saying is that if you want to put the presiding officers on your lenses, you should bring all the presiding officers and the senatorial or federal constituency this thing and analyze the budget.
Okay.
And you are saying that it's only in Akpabio Senatorial District these things are done. And in Akpabio Senatorial District, I have stated here that there are 4 House of Representatives persons, 4. And out of that 4, they are also entitled to projects, constituency projects, which is also in that senatorial district. So also bring out the one of the Deputy Senate President, the one of the Speaker, the one of the Deputy Speaker. So that when you want to, whatever is the intention, we know you want to do analysis.
The point has been made.
But you can't use one person as an individual to do analysis. That is absolutely wrong, partisan, and of course, of no issue.
Okay, Mazi Okorafor in Arochukwu, good morning. Thank you for holding on. Go ahead now, please.
Good morning, our brothers. So you already see this issue of controversy of whether pardon or pardon or pardon. You see, what is the moral value of the National Assembly members that tomorrow, even presently, they are saying they are proving MGH, they are proving federal agencies. Which moral value do you have? Since Obasanjo's regime to date, pardon, Now, when you pass a budget or insert anything, who are going to make use of the money? What do you have in your own constituency you are going to use the money for? You see, these are the that they have exposed what is in the National Assembly. Now, the committee, I was expecting, well, thank God for BBC Hausa News. And look, there's one thing people don't understand. In as much as that interview has been granted on the BBC, if we are all now on the digital leader, it is already stuck there in that BBC studio. Whether you call 100 years or 20 years or 200 years to come in future, the story is there. People will make use of it and go back to make research on those things. So, whatever the government, whether they suspend the National Assembly, suspend the Ngingele or what, doesn't make the point. It says that, and what people are saying, like I are saying, even me I'm saying, investigating the whole issue before coming to the clamping down on the Ngingele is alright. Well, I thank God for people like the Bauchi State Governor, what he did, Bala. He accepted his brother that his brother did not commit any crime. That is not now look at this situation now. The man is representing the North. The man is in charge of the Northern Senators. When it happened, all the senators from the North, all of them just shuru. Nobody cares to back him up. It is not the so yeah, you push somebody, you leave somebody there as your chairman. Something happens. You see the type of relationship, the type of friendship, that what we call statesmanship we have in Nigeria. This is your brother, this is your brother, this is your brother, from the same, all of them from the same zone. And something happens. Nobody among the senators from the North back him. Look, the politics in Nigeria, I'm still saying it, I'm still repeating it. Politics in Nigeria is only tagged with two factors. One, money and power. And as long as money and power is Nigerian politics, my brother and my sister, what we are seeing now is a small thing. When we are going to, that is why Nigerians should go back at the class state parliamentary. Or take politics as a vocation, not as an entrepreneurship. What we are doing now is entrepreneurship democracy in Nigeria. Good morning.
Thanks.
Good morning. Good morning.
Well, Yuri, before, please let me attend to two issues that Mazi brought up there.
Okay, please go ahead.
He said there is no value for constituency project. That is not correct. There is no one federal constituency in this country. I can bet you with my heart that you don't have products of constituency projects. There are some communities in this country who will have not seen anything like borehole before, who have not seen rural electrification or road construction. But it's through constituency project, some of these communities have benefited from it. If you have not benefited from it, it's unfortunate. Then the other aspect is that it's also taking the conversation away from the issue of national consciousness. He's talking about his brothers who have backed him. We are only one. We are one. Nigeria is one. There is no way you expect because the man comes from the same place with you, you back him from illegality. The position of the law is clear. The position of the law is very clear on it. He was a person who alleged and he couldn't prove. And you don't expect other people, very distinguished senators from the North or from the same political party with him, to now align to something he is aware that it was against the rule book. By the effect of Section 60 of the Constitution, that empowers the Senate and the House of Representatives to make for itself a rule. So that rule is binding on everybody, irrespective of class.
Honorable, I believe the last speaker who called in was actually adding that as a sort of a point, attesting to what you have been saying, that the way people naturally tend to back their quote-unquote brothers, very little of that has been seen in evidence. And so it sort of gives the lie to what is going on here, without prejudice to the point that you have been stressing about never mind your brother. Everybody is supposed to be...
And the problem is not the system of government, whether presidential or parliamentary, as is proposing. The problem is not the system of government. The problem is in us as individuals. We have to restructure our social system. Yes.
Okay. I think our last caller this morning is going to be Reverend Dominic. Good morning to you, sir. It's been quite a while.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for the opportunity.
I want to comment on Niger's statement about budget and Mr. President being skewed or not in favor of the budget is not in favor of the North. That statement is quite critical. It's unpatriotic. When the Nigerian government start favoring one side and not other side, when Mr. President, the last president, was in power, we see the appointment how it was. We see the project how it was. Why is it our brother from the North did not complain that time? And this time we have a budget that well balanced. Well balanced. I tell you, I contribute here patriotically. This is one budget that was well balanced. And now he's complaining. He's not complaining about Senate leadership. He's also complaining about a leadership that has come from the South, which is not interested in. That's one side. And I want to say this. In constituency project, we must sit down in Nigeria to review it again. What is the work of a governor? What is the work of a local government chairman? If we can take the money from constituency project, which has been a controversy since 1999, and give it back to governors and local government chairmen, we see more projects in our state than this constituency project. This constituency project has been more controversial than what is supposed to achieve. I live in Alimosho for many years. I've not seen one project here in Alimosho, that constituency project. All the things I see in Alimosho is either my local government chairman who repairs my road every day, or because state who.
Okay.
I mean,
Reverend Dominic, your point has been taken. Thank you very much for contributing it. Don't be a stranger. As I was saying, it's been quite a while since we heard from you. And, Honorable Eyiboh, in order to give you the last word, as it were, as we must begin to prepare to go away.
My closing remarks. I want to appeal to Nigerians that they have to give this 10 Senate, this 10 National Assembly, a chance to perform. And I can bet my heart and I can stake my soul that Akpabio, being a product of a transparent, credible election conducted for the election of the principal officers of the Senate, is the first person who has emerged without partisan cleavages, is the first person who has emerged without anything other than transparency and credibility. He should be given that chance. Emerging as a commissioner, as a governor, as a minister, as a senator before, minority leader, and Senate president. He is a balanced diet for our modern democracy. If he's given a chance, he will institute those things he has in leadership. That will be the best connecting rod between the three arms of government. That will be able to promote our growth and opportunities. That's my closure.
Thank you very much, Honorable Eseme Eyiboh, the Right Honorable Special Advisor on Media and Publicity to the Senate President. We're going to have to leave it here for now. If need be, we'll be revisiting it as time goes. Join us on Monday for a fresh edition. Until then, do have a great